Welcome to D1Theory. I'm Chris, and I'm sitting here with my friend, my new buddy from the Czech Republic, Lukáš Pelikán. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Welcome,
hey everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First of all, shout out to AcuraWagner Gesundheitszentrum. We're in a room right now that we just got to work out in. They let us take this room, so good to be here. Sitting here with Lukáš. And we're going to talk about your football journey, coming from the Czech Republic, from Prague, coming over to Germany now. So luckily enough for me, I've been playing quarterback since 2015, 2016, and 2017. Unfortunately, I did not play due to work. 2018, I took over again as quarterback, and now I'm going to be the head football coach for the full-time Wild Dogs. And now you are with us, thankfully. So you came over from Prague. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your football journey? When did you start? How old were you? How did you start playing football in Prague?
Yeah, right now I'm 30 years old and I'm playing for 14 years now.
Okay.
Actually, my football story started way before I started actually playing. When I was a kid, I played field hockey in Prague.
Field hockey?
Field hockey, yeah. It's kind of girly sport, but...
It's funny, because in America, it's actually only for... I don't know that. I'm not going to say anything that I don't know, so continue.
yeah, but you're right. It's kind of girly sport. But I was playing that, and we had almost every weekend some kind of tournament at our home field. It was just across the street from the stadium where the Lions and the Panthers play.
Lions and the Panthers are the teams.
Are the two teams in Prague.
Okay.
Exactly. So every time we were watching the game, and I didn't understand the rules. I don't understand what football is about.
Sure.
But
and how old were you at this point? How old were you when you started?
I was like 10, 12 years old.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Later after that, I went to the high school, and one of my friends, he was sitting next to me, and he was like, "Hey, would you like to try playing American football?" I'm like, "Dude, I have like 60 kilos or something. I was too small, the kid coming to high school.
135 pounds.
Yeah. And I was like, hell no. But then I was thinking about it, and I decided to, why not? I can try that because I didn't play at that time any other sport.
And so there's two teams in Prague. How many teams are in Prague now?
At this moment, 3 teams.
3 teams, okay.
Yeah.
And how old is now? We see the helmet from the Lions. How old is the team? When did the team start?
Prague Lions, my former team. They're the oldest team in Czech Republic. It was the first team in there. They started in like 1991.
Wow.
When they saw some friendly game of 2 German teams actually.
Okay.
Of Nuremberg Rams and one more. I'm not sure who was their opponent. But some guys, they liked it so much, and then they decided to make a group. They were practicing in a park, no field, no equipment, everything.
No equipment?
No equipment.
So how did they begin? I mean, obviously you were not there at the very beginning, but I always ask myself, so when a team really starts, were they reading books on football? Were they probably watching the NFL? How did they even start to practice?
That time was too hard to watch NFL in Czech Republic, but they liked that so much, so somehow they got involved in contact with some Americans living in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and then suddenly they had an opportunity to have a head coach who was also able to bring the new pads, new helmets and everything for them. Okay. So they started rolling and building up the team. So Lions, they were the first team, they pretty much set it up. And then after that, the Prague Panthers, they was the second team. Sure. And then more and more were adding in every year.
So the Prague Panthers were a team that I had spoken to a couple of years back, and they, to my understanding, they also play not only in Czech, they also play in Austria.
That's correct.
Is this common for other teams in Czech, or is this only?
No. Now they are Black Panthers because they.
Black Panthers.
Yeah. They kind of changed their insides. Sure. But right now the Black Panthers are leaving Czech League. They're gonna play in Austria.
Only in Austria.
Only in Austria. They're a bad team. Their second team will be still kind of involved in the second league in Czech Republic.
Wow. Okay.
So, but they were the first team who decided to move.
And is the competition significantly better in Austria than in Czech in general?
I think yeah.
So that's why they want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So in general, how popular is football in Czech? How many teams are there?
When I started back in 2005, actually, so we had only 4 or 5 junior teams and like 6 teams overall. So for the senior category, which is over 19 years.
Sure.
And right now it's growing every year. Like at this moment, there's like 30 to 32 teams in Czech Republic, and like 4 levels, 4 leagues.
Crazy.
So,
is there also, I'm not sure if you know this, but is there also a lot of, besides the Panthers that are then now playing in Austria, are there also international games? Like for instance, do you guys go and play Slovakia, or do you come over to play German teams ever? Is there an exchange of maybe international?
There used to be always one team from Slovakia playing the Czech league. In history, it was Bratislava Monarchs who played. Now they play in Austrian league as well. Yeah. But they used to play the Czech league with us. Then the Trnava Bulldogs, another Slovakian team, but they had to stay in Slovakian league right now. Yeah. But for example, Znojmo Knights, it's a Czech team, and now they're playing the second Austrian league as well. But only that, they're not involved in Czech league anymore. Okay. Because of some internal rules and decisions and so on.
Okay, interesting. So how did you came to the Wild Dogs, when and how?
Well, it's kind of funny because me and my girlfriend, we started talking about like moving abroad and to take a chance in some different countries and so on. Sure. And like the biggest decision was between me and her, if we go to France or if we go to Germany. Then we decide together that Germany is maybe better for us and it's closer to our families.
Yeah, sure.
So we started looking for job opportunities and for some flats and so on. And at that time, I started looking for a team because I didn't know when I gave up on my football career.
Yeah, of course. So, luckily. Now, how did you? Because this is probably also an interesting question for people that are, say, moving abroad or moving within for Europeans moving within Europe. How did you really find the Wild Dogs? How did you make contact with us? How did you get that ball rolling?
Well, we knew where we'll be moving in. We knew it's going to be around Karlsruhe, we're actually at this moment we're living in Waldbronn, which is near Karlsruhe. Sure. And I was looking at a website like Your Players, Podium, and so on, and I was looking like where Google what teams are around. So the closest 2 teams was KIT, which is Karlsruhe Engineers, and Pforzheim Wild Dogs. So I decided to. So
KIT or KIT is a university in Karlsruhe. So that was a team that you had looked at, and then Pforzheim, which was also not so far away.
Yeah, exactly.
So you did a Google search.
I did a Google search, and after that, I looked at the websites. Okay. And I wrote an email like, "Hey."
So you got the email from our website.
Yeah.
This is a very important point because this is for people that are looking to make a move somewhere. How transparent is that from, for instance, our perspective from our website? How easy is it to find somebody? And it seems like it, obviously worked out really well. And there's also other methods with social media to get in touch with people. There's also the platform Euro Players. But it's really important that people know how to find a team.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had sent an email.
I was sending an email.
Hopefully, I got a quick response.
Yeah, exactly. It was like next day. I received a message from Kai Hoffinger, who's the manager.
Sure.
And he was so friendly. He was like, "Yeah, we would like to talk to you, and it seems good to us." And then he was trying to find something about me, like who am I?
Right. So not only asking, what position you play,
exactly,
how much can you bench press,
but
more about you as a person and
as a person,
which is also a really important thing. That's another reason why I came to the Wild Dogs in the first place, to go to somebody that there was more than just football. There was more than just football, and that's what's I think really good. There's a family atmosphere from our team, so hopefully it's going well for you thus far.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's going so well. I was so surprised because all the guys on the team right now, they're so friendly to me.
Yeah.
They know it's kind of hard because I wasn't speaking German at all.
But now you are.
Now I'm kind of, yeah, ein bisschen Deutsch.
Ein bisschen Deutsch.
Yeah, but there's.
I actually made Lukáš introduce himself and say a few words to the team in German at our team meeting, which you did pretty well.
Yeah, it was kind of a challenge, but yeah, I made it. So right now I feel really good, and as you said, like atmosphere in the team is so like family stuff.
Sure. So
good.
let's go back to Prague.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me a little bit about the setup of, say, practice. How often did you guys practice per week? How was your attendance, and how was the attendance influenced, say, by vacation, etc.?
Yeah. Well, we used to practice 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah. Originally it was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Sure.
Then after like some experience with this, we decided to make it in a different way. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday we had like a light practice, like walkthrough stuff, because we used to have games on Saturday and Sunday,
right,
depending on the schedule.
Right.
And we were having a meeting before for an hour when we were watching the film from the past game.
Sure.
And we were also filming our practices, so we were
really filming your practice. Wow.
Yeah, we're correcting our.
Yeah, I find that very, very professional, because we, when I played at the University of Maine, we had practice also filmed from 2 angles. Mm-hmm. But it's a very large process to do that, and then to watch that, etc. And at a Division 1 level, that's kind of the expectation. Mm-hmm. But say when I was in high school, no way. I mean, we weren't filming our practices, and we started doing that as well here with Pforzheim. That we try to get a big. How do we do it now? We have a very large tripod, a very tall tripod, and we're watching practice, and we're getting together and looking over that, which is very important in football to understand the theory behind football. So you guys were filming practice as well?
We were filming the practices, correcting the mistakes, but as I said, it's a ton of work behind that, because like after every practice during the night, our coaches had to to add some comments and everything, and to get it ready for the next day, because like for example, we had a practice on Tuesday, but on Wednesday you had to watch the film before. So
and the difference between, or a difference between football in America and football over here in Europe, when you're on the field, it's the exact same. You're playing football. But the difference is, or one difference is that the time that you have, because in America, you're playing football, you're involved in a school, you're in middle school, you're in high school, you're in college, and that works together. The organization is from the school, whereas here in Europe, it's through a club. Yeah. And you have guys that are volunteering their time. They're not getting money.
Exactly.
Maybe some are getting money, but not many coaches. They are volunteering their time, spending time away from their kids and their family to invest into the football team. And that's what makes it not unsustainable, but it makes it unrealistic to have such expectations as we have in America. But it's really impressive when people do that. And I'm so thankful that we, as a team, that we got a lot of guys, we have a lot of new coaches, players that stopped playing that are now coaching, and they're investing a lot of time. And you really need that with football. Football requires so much effort from every side, and also from the coaches. So it's pretty impressive that you guys had that as well.
Yeah. Like for example, in Prague, Czech Republic, he's a head coach for the junior team of the Lions, but he was also the offensive coordinator for the senior team. Okay. And he's acting more like a manager, because he has to cover all that stuff on his own. And for example, he's a volunteer. And many other coaches, like any other Americans, they were just volunteering to do that. So they are investing their own time for no money for that. Yeah. And as I said, like it's a side part of your life, because you have a job, you have a family, you have school if you're a student, and you have to combine it all together. So
it's got to be important for you.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the import situation, because in Europe, in some teams, the teams that have the capacity, that have the money, that have the sponsoring, sometimes they'll bring American imports over. Luckily for somebody like me, I had the opportunity to come over. I played in 2014 in Italy, And in 2015 I came to play for Pforzheim. Did you guys also have a similar situation where you could bring imports in?
Yeah. The first import quarterback we had, it was in 2011, I think.
Okay.
Before that, we had, for example, one linebacker, but there was a time I haven't played for the senior team yet.
Okay.
But yeah, for the first time we brought like full-time imports. It was 2011. And then we decided to go this way. As you said, like it's depending on the money situation on the team. It's really hard to find the money for that because you have to offer something. And we try to find a good person to come, who want to be involved in coaching.
Of course.
And in some commenting films and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And last year, for example, we were allowed by the league rules to have only 2 imports. They could be
two imports on the team in general, or 2 imports on the field at the same time?
On a team and on the field at the same time.
Okay.
So for us it was easy decision. We wanted to have a defensive guy, and then we needed a quarterback because I think the European problem right now it's to have a European QB.
Sure.
It's too hard to find a good person to have it.
Yeah, you're at a huge advantage in Europe when you have a well-trained quarterback that can lead your team. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that are coming over and playing, and that's from the sustainability of a team. It's really, really important to try to build up quarterbacks at a young age.
Yeah.
So that's also something that we definitely want to do for the Wild Dogs. Okay, so you guys were bringing in quarterbacks. Several quarterbacks over the last couple of years?
Yeah, like every year you're trying to find some like long-term solution. For example, to have a contract for 3 years, but it's kind of hard, because...
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's so many things involved. It depends on also, is somebody ready to come over to Europe, and do they really want to stay? Because at the beginning you have this first month or 2 months, yeah, I love it here, I want to stay here, but then reality really sets in. How am I coming along with the language? Am I really able to earn money outside of football? Am I missing home to the point where I can't take it anymore and I need to go back? That's where one of the things, now I'm kind of on the other side of the table with bringing imports over, because I'm now heavily involved with the team from the coaching aspect, and I'm looking to help interview people, and this is quite the process. And you really need to look from their character and find people that are going to bring more to the team than just a good performance on the field.
Exactly.
And you can only do that through video conferences, through talking on the phone. So you're actually taking a gamble, taking a risk, even though you think you have a good feeling. So it's an exciting thing, but it's quite a process to bring people over to Europe, and you really need to make a good decision.
Yeah, it was kind of similar for me because as I was for a long time with my team, I was kind of involved in, let's say, import hunting.
Sure.
And also we were looking every year for a coach, for a head coach who was able to coach defense.
Yes.
So we had a ton of interviews on the phone, like video conferences. We exchanged so many emails to find the proper person every year. And it's kind of hard, but as you said, like when you get in the import on your team, you don't need to just score a touchdown. You don't need him to just score touchdowns or to have 100 tackles in a season.
Right.
Like you need a good person to be the team player and to be the leader on the field.
Yeah, of course. And to say they're only going to be here for 1 season, for them to leave a lasting effect that's going to positively help the team in years to come. Because it's a big investment, not only from money, but also from the whole process and taking care of them and making sure that they're okay and things like that. So that's one goal of ours this year, definitely, is to move away from being so dependent on these good players that are coming over, and to definitely utilize their leadership skills, their coaching, and their good play. But if they're not in practice, or if they can't play in a game, it's not the end of the world. The world's gonna keep spinning. So that's what we want to get away from. That we're so dependent on certain players or certain coaches and things like that. Is to really properly distribute the load and the responsibilities, which makes for a sustainable team, I think, from the playing side and also from the coaching coaching side. So the last question that I have for you is, you're over here in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
You're very involved with the team. We're practicing right now in our off season, getting ready for our season that's going to start up in April. What are your goals for the upcoming season? And I told you, you're not allowed to say to win a championship because I want to hear more. No, you're allowed to say that.
Yeah, it's a good question, but for me, it's a big step in my life. You know, to move to a different country,
Yeah, of course.
to be after so many years to be with different guys in the field.
Sure.
Because like I was used to play with the same 10 guys around me for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
We
sure.
didn't change our depth charts for so many years. But right now, I'm a rookie on the team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to judge like where we'll be in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But at this moment, personally, I wanna be one of the best guys in the field. Like not meaning as we talked about the imports. I don't want to be like who's getting 100 tackles this season. It would be so nice to have.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how many interceptions and so on and so on. But I want to be like a well-built player for the whole team.
Definitely. Yeah, and please stay healthy. We're happy to have you on the team and appreciate the time. And
Thank you so much for inviting me.
go Wild Dogs. Thank you.
Go Wild Dogs.
All right.